honest with you. I'm not sure exactly what we're in for because, well, that game one was an interesting one to say the least. What I can promise you, though, is there is going to be one D ward to come out from Starov.
Yeah, nice little golden fusion already. I think they saw Batrider just auto attack hitting something as they were standing right in the ramp. So got room to clear that out themselves. Look, I'm kind of with Lizard on this one. I like the global potential coming out from Poke. Think about Spectre, Shadow Step with an AA Blast on top when that's online. It's pretty brutal to play against. Like, these supports will just be picked off so fast when the Spectre can just jump on top and about to fall through damage. They're trying to jump in now. So get a little bit of a, just a trade back and forth. That does give Cloud a little bit more in terms of the bounties at the least. So having themselves a pretty good time. I'm kind of keen on seeing just how much Andy can get from the mid Slark versus the Batrider, right? Like, that's where the lane shift out comes. They want to just have this Dispel on hand. We have seen Slark versus Batrider before, and I feel like even with the Dark Pack, it's not the comfiest for a Slark. You still have range advantage for small KK. You can still try to stack up the Napalm again and get some right clicks. Dark Pack hurts you every time you use it as well, so it's a weird trade-off. You're really going to have to rely on juggling around your stick usage here well.
Certainly are. We'll keep an eye out on this mid lane because it's something we don't get to see very often. Maybe we have a look at the top lane because you're going to have Lun there with now against Mercy and CSJ. What do you think about that top lane? Like, it seems like laning-wise, you're going to have a decent enough time from both ends of things. Anything in particular we need to keep an eye out on, you, John?
The lane feels a lot better for Cloud here. You have much more aggression coming out with the Hoodwink and with the LC. There's not much play Ranfu and Lunfa can really do here. I mean, it's a Spectre plus AA lane. It's pretty passive just by nature. I like that Ranfu is just playing tag with chill and touch. He doesn't want to go too close into their faces as there's a lot of punishment here. But that does benefit the side of Cloud quite a fair bit. You're just going to be able to get what you need on CSJ much earlier here.
Sure. In that bottom lane, of course, Butterfly Effect and Starif against Eren and Killer. Centaur Rubik does seem quite potent. The SF, we know from experience, takes quite a bit of time to get online, and well, it's not the easiest or rather the hardest target to take down if you catch him out like this. Butterfly, just body blocked up, will eat a Fairy Fire. One more double edge will do the job, but Killer, he can't get within range. They lost vision in that tree line. Butterfly Effect, he will survive another day. The thing is, this lane can be quite potent. Like, it's not going to get too much easier either way.
No, it's certainly not. Tree lines cut down, lift into hoof stop combinations. Pretty painful. You do have erasers to play with, but if you don't manage to land them, then the threat's not there, and Kill is just really durable by virtue of just being a Centaur. So you have to ensure that you can kind of set up with these slows from Starif, get the raises you need if you want to counterfight, and that will slow down the pace of your farm either way. The Butterfly Effects force a response to these movements.
Starif gonna fight back here. Killer may have gone a bit too far, but no, he gets the first blood. That double-edge cooldown so darn low, only 4 seconds. Allows him just enough damage to secure first blood. Sure, he dies at the end of the day, but you get that bonus gold, just TB back to the laning phase, not too big of a deal. Meanwhile, top side, looks like they have got Ranfu down a bushwhack. They'll go for the chase onto the AA, and well, CSJ, he'll have more than enough to secure the kill.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Both sides have really strong off lanes and fairly passive safe lanes. So you can expect both CSJ and you can expect Killa to have a good time here coming out from the laning phase. Just set up for their team from there. The big issue is really the pacing for Poke. Like, you will have to stall for the spec, and that feels a lot tougher than stalling out for an SF. Although we have seen FSFs just opt to farm more than join some early fights, I don't think you can afford to do that as Butterfly Effect. You've got to take initiative once you've got a couple of your items up, maybe Dragonlance BKB, and just get going from there, because if you allow the Spectre to farm into the Ags, into the Manta, into the Heart, you don't have any clear answers for her. And you can break with Mercy, but it's easier said than done.
That looked very easy bot lane as well, John. Killer just deleting Butterfly Effect. Just every time you get lifted by Eren, chances are you are going to die. Like, and as the levels go up, the chances just only increase. This SF, again, having a pretty rough start to the game. Of course, you aren't purely reliant on the SF to pull you through this game, as you do have this Slark, but you definitely don't want to have too bad of a start, because soaking gold away from each other not going to be very nice. As well, bot lane Aaron does take a fair bit of damage from these razors thrown out by Butterfly, but ultimately won't be enough to really kill him off here on the Ruby.
Yeah, just caught him a couple of hits. That's enough to shove him away from the lane. So Killa's solo is much more manageable for the side of Cloud, and that's giving some much needed space out for Butterfly Effect. Just try to catch up in this farm game. So far though, Cloud are having a really strong showing on mid and off. So you are getting that good start here for Andy. Not that small KK is really too far behind, but it's a good start. And this Slark swap is paying off. We're not seeing any movement coming out, and even if you had movement coming out from Pokemon, you've got AA Rubik. The support rotation just isn't the smoothest to pull off. And again, that's something Cloud can do. Their early to mid game is a lot stronger. Their laning phase looking like it can set up for that.
Bottom, they've got him again. Yeah. Butterfly Effect, he's going to try to run with the raise, the double edge. It's not enough damage. My oh my, they just don't stop. In fact, Aaron, he's the one to go down. His Butterfly Effect just kind of abuses the raises. Just find himself a nice pick off there onto the Rubik. And with that, he can kind of relax knowing that he can't get lifted up into a hoof stomp anytime soon.
Yep. You're at the point with level 3 raises where trading back is a lot faster, your burst timing's a lot quicker on these squishy supports. So you can find a lot more for your trouble there. They are, again, being left to their side lane, so you can't really play with your Batrider, which is one thing you really want to see come out for small KK. You want to run down Andy somehow. Andy finds himself a double damage rune as well with his level 6 up. Could opt to go for a pretty deep dive here if he wants to.
Rest is going to show up. Small KK. Just get taken down here. They'll try to evade as best as possible, but there's just no escaping Andy at the moment. Like, Ranfu down, rotated to try and help out, but as an AA, you are just going to melt. Andy finding 2 for his trouble. That'll be 2 permanent agility stacks being made for the Slark. And he can even think about chipping into that mid-tier 1 tower. He's got the siege creep up. Though it might die, and it does. Unfortunately.
Yep, but the DD, you still do a lot of damage by yourself. So you can drop it down quite a fair bit. Not going to be able to fully commit, of course, as Small KK still has the threat of Lasso ready on his end. But you're finding this early start, again, for the side of Cloud, which is important. Their lineup has to come online. They've got to punish Poke for wanting to play a slower game. They might find more.
And he's being quite aggressive here with these rotations, but they are panning out. Killer, he's stuck nearby on the Centaur. He's going to be alright to walk out, but I'm liking this mid Slark so far. Like, Andy's had basically free farm. The Batrider's had 0 effect. Meanwhile, topside, Lunfer, dropping extremely low, needs to be somewhat careful because CSJ needs 1 creep for level 6, and then we go. He's going to have the perfect timing for the jewel to come out. Lunfer, can he survive? Fade Bolt, it's not going to be enough. He does go down, and CSJ, he takes a fair bit of damage, but not quite enough to take him out. He is going to survive. For now, though, Ranfu does show up, but doesn't have the vision.
They're not able to punish. The support duo of Poke just... They can't do much to punish any sort of deep dives. It's AA with not many levels. It's a Rubik with not that many levels as well. You're getting pressured on every lane. Lonfer is going to need to find some space to farm. And Cloud, man, they're just finding momentum. Another great Hour Rune for Andy as well. Just instantly running down bot. He's got the Shadow Dance. Up against a tanky hero like the Centaur, you're going to build a lot of stacks here.
Well, Andy again. Killer. We can't do anything about it. Andy is just an absolute menace. He'll pop the Stampede at the least, but Andy's got a haste group. So Andy will just chase him down. At least on the other side of the map, they do find Mercy and CSJ. So it is a decent amount of kills coming out here at the top lane for Poke. But man, oh man, you've got to be worried about Andy, because after that last game, Andy is coming back for revenge.
Oh yeah, he's kicking it into gear. He's taking so much activity from mid. He knows he can't afford just sit back and farm because you've got an SF. You kind of need to play fast on the Slark, and he does have some early spikes with his kind of itemization. Going straight for the Diffusal Blade. Much easier to run more heroes down as well when the opportunity presents itself. And just trying to shrink this map fast. The one issue for the side of Cloud is their push isn't the best. So even if they get these pickoffs, at some point if they don't get objectives on top, it just feels awkward.
Ranfu now is literally just going to be left to die, it seems. Andy just casually walking into the dire jungle, nobody's going to contest him. Instead, Small KK trying to find those neutral camps, does get them. But I think Andy may have stolen a couple with the Dark Pack. And with that, I mean, this Slark, just no fear.
Yeah, it's just not enough damage, or not enough hold to punish him with the Dark Pack. He's just so confident in bailing out from any piece of control that they might pump out here. And he's just able to get away with a lot. Like, your support duo just doesn't stop Slark. Like, AA, Rubik, they can't really stop the aggression coming out from him. We're also seeing that Lonfer is already forced into the jungle. He does have the Blade Nail, so at the least he can get his farm game going. It's going to be a process. Like, Poke will have to play from behind for quite a fair bit of time. And as long as Cloud plays this aggression, keeps shutting down his farm, then they can make it work.
Well, at least Killer does find Starif down in the bot lane as the Centaur, so pops Stampede for that one. Problem is the top T1 tower is just going to go the way of CSJ for free. Of course, Mercy will be around to defend the bottom tier 1, so that's going nowhere. This is the Centaur, you'd love to tank those tier 1 tower hits and just use Retaliate to take it down, but Killer's probably just not feeling safe whatsoever this game, not yet anyway. More rotations incoming. They've got the Treant on the way. Starif's just going to make sure this tower goes up to full HP once again. And obviously you are looking to play a very slow game as Poke anyway, because you do have the Spectre. But considering the 4K advantage 11 minutes in, kind of hard to imagine the game going that slowly, unless Poke can continue making some form of space. For now though, they are losing a lot of map space, that's for sure, as Killer's going to tip Mercy while he's at it. I believe that was a Starbreaker that didn't connect on the Centaur. Meanwhile, top lane, Lasso has been committed, CSJ going too far. It seems like Small KK is going to be able to punish him.
A nice pick off to get, giving some relief to Lonfer and that top lane to just farm as well. And just dodging out any wider engagements. You are still trying to get that farm up. You do lose mid, which is a pretty big take for Cloud just from the creep wave coming in. So again, this jungle invasion can just continue for the most part on Cloud's end without caring too much. Diffusal flying out for Andy as well. So our Slark is ready to really just run everyone down if you're not careful. And Lonfer, it's fine. Doesn't get pounced on. At the very least, the pounce doesn't connect. But you can just see, again, how confident Andy is. He just knows he's really strong. He has to play like he's really strong and just keep looking for these opportunities.
No, Killer bottom lane going to be chased down, but Bushwhack did not connect from Mercy, so they won't have enough control quite yet to try and deal with the Centaur again. Killer, though, sticking around for the tier 1 tower. He's still going to be fine to walk away. He's got help on the way, in fact. Aaron's going to be right behind. They've got the Ice Blast. They've got the Hoop Stop. They've even got the Haunt being committed, but Butterfly Effect might have time for the Requiem, but no, he cancels. Oh, he would have had time. It won't matter. He's down. So is Starif and Mercy. Probably going to drop as well. Ooh. Nice Bushwhack at the very least, landing on a couple. Holding down 3. They're trying to bring more in desperately to fight back. CSJ, he's not going to be able to break the distance to try and get a nice duel off. Only has the Blade Mail at the moment. And Andy, he does join the party, but he's also too late.
That's what they need to do on the side of Poke. Play with his Ice Blast. They get the lift, they get the chain stunts, they find a big target, they find a clump up. Good angle from Ron Fu. And now they can just switch on to their stacks they've managed to build up here as well. A lot of farm coming out for Small KK. Blink Honor Batrider coming up next. He knows he's got to play make for the team. They need to have this jump along with the Centaur down the line when he gets his Vanguard Blink. Still, Cloud, they're not resting here.
They are not. Mid lane, Aaron. Can he get caught? Has his own Dark Pack, but it's probably not going to be enough to get away from Andy, though he is trying his best. Ice Blast, it is not going to connect on the Slark. Perhaps if it did, you might have had some turn potential, but it's just not quite there. More permanent agility to go the way of the Slark. Now 6 for Andy.
It's feeling pretty damn strong. Good amount of damage coming out from him. And it takes him less time in the middle of these fights to just build up and just become uncontrollable with the right clicks. Still, double blink is up for Poke. Small KK. Oh, they got Killer.
They've got Killer with the Starbreaker, or rather, excuse me, the Sharpshooter. It's more than enough damage to take down Killer. Happy days for your LC. And Andy's still just roaming so aggressively. Small KK's taken over that triangle on the dire end. So you'd love to give that bump to Spectre. Meanwhile, mid lane, Andy, he's just been hanging around that area for so long. He takes down Aaron as soon as he shows past that tier 2 tower. He'll try for a chase. It's kind of hard, though, to get a nice lasso off. And they didn't even have the Firefly for the bonus movement speed, so there was just no catching him. Andy's fine once again.
Again, just a hit and run. Just utilizing the Slark and its mobility and its early presence. They're going down bot, though.
Yeah, Killer gonna try and make the jump in onto CSJ, and they've got him. So the thing is, you always have the backup of the Ice Blast here from Ranfu Dao. You can get a nice initiation. You've always got that bonus damage, as we do see Ranfu losing his courier with the point booster. Meanwhile, mid lane, Mercy's gonna drop as Killer. Nice little initiation there on the Centaur. Andy's sticking around. Andy wants to try, but Andy's kind of alone at the moment. It's only Starif nearby. So as you do have the backup of the Overgrowth if you need it. Andy's still playing with fire. Stampede's going to be there. Has he gone too far this time? He pounces away, but the Haunt is there. The chase is on. Overgrowth, but Lenfer. No, he's not going to be able to keep up. Andy's got help now. Killer still going to jump in with a hoop stomp. Landing onto the LC, but the Requiem. It is going to land and the jewel comes out. CSJ wins another. And it seems like Poke have had enough. They wanted the Slark so darn bad, but Andy, proving to be way too slippery, is not going to give the opening over. In fact, Mercy, he's not done yet. A nice pushback is going to land onto the Spectre, and with the Sharpshooter, you're going to have the damage. No problem.
They've got to be a bit more patient than jumping that Slark. They did line up quite nicely for it, but it's still a Slark. And this is a Slark without the full Ags up. Once Andy has those 2 pounces and range, you're going to have an even tougher time. You have to accept that the Slark's probably not your target right now. Oh, Mercy.
Mercy, he's running. Killer, not actually going to go for it. His blink is on cooldown now. Mercy just casually going to try and walk back for the double damage, but Aaron does end up denying it off. Mercy not going to bother trying to go for a pushwhack. We'll just leave the Rubik be. AK advantage, though, the way of Cloud, so you're sitting more than happy right now if you are the Radiant side. And knowing you're against the Spectre, look at the net worth of Lunfer at the moment. Compared to everyone else, he's sitting at 5.5k. This is why Spectre, it just feels like such a depressing position one to play at the moment. So your only itemization is build Blade Mail into ads, and then farm at a snail's pace.
Pretty much. Like, the hero just doesn't hit critical mass fast enough. And Andy's just not giving him any room to farm.
Yeah, I mean, you know he's there somewhere. He's dead. Andy's going to try and go for a run. Poke can try for this. Small KK in position for a lasso. He's going to wait out the Dark Pack, though. Does do so. There's a nice overgrowth. They still lift him back into the hoof stomp. Maybe they can find Andy, and they will. That's a big one. Meanwhile, Mercy, Requiem is there. Small KK getting caught out again. So CSJ winning another duel now as they land a bushwhack in onto the Rubik. So Aaron's gone. Killer, he does at least get Mercy, but it's going to cost his own life. The damage output right now, Butterfly Effect, is just so damn high. It's not a bad team fight for Poke, but this is all why your Spectre's dead. It's like she's getting no benefit from this.
It's tough for Lonfer. And it's all in on Lonfer at this point as well. You have just not been able to win out any of your lanes. You're scaling your mid-game spike on the Centaur and the Batrider. It's sort of there, but it doesn't feel like it's strong enough to deal with both the SF and the Slark, and even the LC. But they have just so many good solutions coming out from Cloud. What Poke needs to do is just play around her own pickoff. Right? We've seen them have success, lift up into Hoof Stomp, into Ice Blast, and just go for these single target pickoffs. That's all you can really hope for. Because any longer, and you have the counterplay with the Overgrowth for the Stampede to stop, you've got the Duel to isolate one, you've got the Fear control coming up from Butterfly Effects Requiem, and the Slark that just jumps around.
Uh-oh. Mercy. First the attack and a save. In goes the LC for the Jewel, finding the Batrider, and the Sharpshooter actually going to be blocked off here by our Spectre, but it doesn't matter. CSJ still wins this one out. In goes Andy. He wants to fight. He loves to fight, but the Hoof Stomp's going to connect. The Cold Feet will freeze him up. Can he survive through it? The double edge, no, it's not enough. Oh, it is not enough. That is a concern. Poke will get chased down once again. Looks like they won't dive past the tier 2 tower, but Roshan's going to be open. They can just go right for that if they want.
They can. They've got the output ready to go with Butterfly Effect, and they've got the full Ags flying out now on Andy. So if you thought you had a hard time catching the Slark before, you're going to have an hellish time catching him out now. I don't think you even go for Andy anymore. You might actually just gun for Butterfly Effect, maybe look for that offlane LC on CSJ, and again, just play the pickoff game. These wider team fights are just not working out for Poke. Not at this point. They need so much more farm, and they're running out of map space to get that done. 2 lives up on Butterfly Effect. The mid-game spikes of both the SF and the Slark are fully in gear.
Oh,
So you do have tree disconnects.
that's a big one. I mean, it's like, what do you do now? Like, 21 to 15, 11k advantage. It's massive at 20 minutes. Yeah, the big concern is the fact that this Spectre has 0. Like, 6.7k just about net worth on this Spectre. Even once you have the Ags up, it's not like anything changes. You know, like, she has some more global presence. She's more annoying. But ultimately, she still lacks a lot of damage. And survivability, for that matter.
Yeah, it needs more. Once you have Ags plus Manta, it feels a lot better. And presumably the BKB here, just because you really don't want to deal with a Hoodwink and her Sharpshooter in this game. And then that's the point where you're all right, kind of stable. You don't really need too much damage, it feels like, because we have seen the heroes on a Cloud kind of drop low. It is just survivability that Lawn Fur will need. And that's Manta after Ags is like, it feels like it's going to be 10 minutes away, maybe a bit longer if this map shrinks even further. And we are seeing Killa and Small KK try their best, right? They're running around as 2 with their supports. They're trying to find these pickoffs. They're trying to get activity with the Haunt in. They are finding some heroes, but just all these counterplays from Cloud. The fact that Treant stops Stampede. The fact that you don't have a hard hold for Slark. The fact that even if you catch all these heroes, Butterfly Effect gets a good position, gets Requiem off. There's nothing to cancel it because you don't have that many stuns on your side either. It's much more forgiving for Cloud right now in comparison to Poke. And for Cloud, I mean, at this point, if you just keep suppressing the map like this, I don't see Poke having counterplay. Maybe on the high ground, you could hope for, say, a Lasso Stampede pull way into the back lines and just isolate one hero like that. But again, it's easier said than done to get that.
It certainly is. It's not an easy game whatsoever to even consider coming back from. Well, they'll need the players to reconnect first anyway before we can even talk about a comeback happening, because 3 of them are completely gone now. So I suppose that kind of adds to the chance of a comeback here for Poke in Game 2. You know, if they never reconnect, considering the game state right now, 11k advantage. 20 minutes in. It's just like so much reliance on everyone else right now to buy this space. It's still possible to get the damage out on these calls. Like, Small KK still does a lot of damage along with Killer. And you have the backup of the Ice Blast always from Run Fu Dao, but that's about it. Like, apart from that, you haven't got too much going for you. Compare that to the SF right now, who's got 12.1k net worth and Aegis up and is almost at that stage where SF just deletes you every time he starts attacking you with the Mask of Madness. I'm just not sure what they can do. Like, unless we have a similar thing to what happened last game, where instead of Poke dragging the game out for no reason, Cloud might do the exact same thing, then I could see them like making a decent comeback. But it's gonna take like at least 20 more minutes.
Yeah, like 10 minutes is when the Spectre feels better. 15 to 20 is when it really starts to feel like it can equalize the game. It's a lot of time. And as we're seeing from Cloud right now, I mean, they're playing aggressive. They've been consistently aggressive. So I don't think they're going to just be standing back and farming up anytime soon. They understand that there's a little bit of a timer over their heads. They've got to take action now. So would be a bit disappointed if they just sat back and farm. 11k up. You're feeling good. You know it's a Spectre. You've done well. Just keep doing well.
Yeah, I mean, you might wait for maybe a bit more itemization here from the SF, but quite frankly, you're at that stage where you could definitely go for a fight into high ground if you really wanted to. But he just hits like an absolute truck at the moment, level 16, and like nobody even close to him on this SF. And that's considering how bad of a start he did have, because you remember he was just constantly getting lifted up into the hoof stomps of our Centaur and just somehow just still recovers anyway. Like it's quite impressive.
Yeah, it's just the nature of SF though as well, right? Like he flash farms really well. And considering all the space Andy's created, he's got a lot of room to just farm.
Yeah.
Killer.
Tips out here from Killer to Andy. I wonder, like, I can't remember how much time do players have to reconnect before their time's up.
Usually it's 5 minutes team time to reconnect. 5 minutes, and then that's well, that was way back when in BTS, when we had Douglas watching the clock. Best admin. Of course,
Yeah.
can't forget Nino at number 2.
Can't forget Nino, that's for sure. I'd like to forget Nino, but you certainly can't. I've tried, trust me.
I'd like to forget Neff, but he haunts me.
Yeah, there's that guy. We'll be seeing him back in NA Div 1 very, very soon, I'm sure. At least now. I mean, he likes to pretend like he's part of the team, but, we all know everyone hates him. He's just an employee doing his job. A bad one at that, in case he's listening.
Hey, we saw him behind the camera in Yamson's interview. He had a good laugh when Yamson gave the best interview.
That was a great interview. I can't wait for the rematch between those two, I'll tell you. What was it? It's Wildcard and Nouns, right? They better go at it next time. It'll be amazing.
I want to see how Sammy Boy reacts to that one.
Well, still no signs of a reconnect here from our 3 players from Cloud. Hopefully everything's going okay with the old internet connection. Not exactly sure what's happened here, but clearly something's gone wrong, John. Electricity, internet, something's gone a little bit whack for 3 of the players.
It's a bit strange to experience this outside of Southeast Asia. I feel like we haven't had this in a very, very long time.
It's been a long time.
Not since C. Yeah, it's actually strange to me. It's like, this used to happen a lot more. You know what, Mike? It's Valentine's Day, right? It's the Day of Hearts. I had a friend come up to me and ask me for some reason for Dota team pickup lines. I'm wondering, do you have any off the top of your head?
Dota 2 pickup lines or Dota team pickup lines?
Huh? Dota 2. Yeah.
No,
Dota team pickup lines. Sure.
No, I don't. I'm sorry to not be creative. I don't have it.
Yeah.
I remember reading there was some Twitter gift cards being made.
Yeah.
Like the butterfly "I miss you" thing, and
I have one. This is great.
What do you have? Go on.
Are you Necrophos? Because you have a Heartstopper aura about you.
Oh, that's terrible. I can't even smile at that. That was terrible. This is why I don't even try, because they're just so bad. There's no 2 ways about it. It's just bad, John.
It's genius, Mike. I don't know what you're talking about. That's great. Calling the girl you like a Necrophos, comparing you to Necrophos. That's a great move. Works 10 out of 10 times, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're always with the old ladies, John. I know you. Speaking of which, how was your Valentine's? Did you do anything today, John?
No. What did I do? I ordered some breakfast for me and my mom. My sister went out with a friend. So it was just me and my mom for lunch, and we had some silog, like the fried rice stuff I always talk about. Fried garlic rice with some meat and eggs. And that's it.
Yeah.
That's my Valentine's.
Very good. Well, at least you took care of mom. That's all that matters.
Yeah. I mean, we just stayed at home, but it's better than nothing, I suppose.
That's true.
At least I could do.
That is true.
How about you, Mikey? Anything planned with the old missus after this one?
No, sir. I mean, she's made some ravioli, so I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
Ooh.
You know what ravioli is, John?
Yes.
Are you uncultured?
Somewhat.
Right. Okay.
I think I do.
It's meat-filled pasta, Jonathan.
Yeah, I'm surprised because I expected you to just say sarmale. Because when we were in Romania, you just every day I'd ask you, "What do you have in sarmale? What are you having sarmale? What are you having sarmale?" It's like, why do I even bother asking you what you're having?
Yeah, but that's literally what's going to happen. Like, I've actually got a plan that every day when we're back for that 3 weeks, I'm literally going to just keep ordering sarmale every meal. I'm literally just going to keep ordering. You watch. I'm gonna stack up the boxes so I can prove it too. You're not gonna. Well, it's so good. Well, why wouldn't I order it,
It
over
is
and
good.
over again?
To be fair, it is good. It is good. I love summer. It's good. It's good. I enjoy it. I do have to say, Michi is so much. Oh, Michi is so good. Like, just slap a lot of mustard on that meat. So good.
It is good. You're making me very hungry, by the way, John, because I'm waiting
I'm glad.
for the series to end so I can eat the dinner with my wife. But now we've got a 3-man disconnect going on here. So again, kind of hence why I was asking how long do the players have of pause time? You know,
They
I
have
don't see
enough.
any warnings being handed out yet, so I assume they're still perfectly fine. Hopefully everything's fine. I do want them to reconnect and finish the damn games. Hate to have a disconnection into a forfeit. Those are always terrible because DPC is kind of it's very punishing like that, isn't it? Like you lose one series and it could cost you everything.
I mean, for Cloud, again, the stakes here is if they don't win this, chances are they're in the bottom two, straight up. Like if they win here, they can force out a 3-way tie for the bottom two and have a chance to force tiebreakers and move up, perhaps, if certain things line up. But a loss here would just put them right at the bottom. So wouldn't want to bomb out that way. But, you know, there is more time. No one's asking like anything. So, you know, we don't have Dougie watching the clock here. We're fine. Speaking of fine,
absolutely.
like, what, you know what to say to a fine young lady as well?
What's that?
The sight of you makes me do a heavenly jump.
Oh. That's... I can't even laugh at it, John. It's so bad. It's actually. Well, you gotta laugh. There you go. Aaron's having a good time. Loves the Killer
Aaron
Pigeon
hears
voice line. There you go. Yeah. Oh goodness me. Well, I appreciate you at least having some Valentine's lines ready. I can see why you had to stay at home with your mother. You know.
Yeah.
Shout out to her. But I can now. I hope she didn't have to listen to these, John.
No.
No.
I mean, I
that's
wouldn't.
good.
I was forced to do this for content, for
Really?
content piece. It's going to come out somewhere, I think. I was like, she asked me at like 12 midnight for a little piece that's coming out from, I believe, Telm. She's like, hey, do you have anything? We're going to rate them. I'm like, I do not have a single thing in my mind.
Right.
Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one. So I'll tell you first and figure out if it's me that made it or not, all right? Or who else might have made it. Are you the Skull Basher? Because you're a stunner.
I don't think that was you.
Yeah. Of course not.
And
Take a wild guess.
we're from Talon? Like from the Talon org?
No. From here. From here.
Was it your dad? Is
No. Why would
did
my
your dad come up with
that?
well, I don't know.
No, it's
You're
Fluke.
telling me to guess.
He's
Who
a
is it?
champ. Mr. Fluky
Oh, it was
has a
Fluke.
good line. There you go. He's
Well,
a
of
killer.
course it was. What does that mean? 18 to 11.
2023.
We know there's a date there. There's 100% a date.
I need my phone. I cannot, Mike. Unfortunately, I do not speak Chinese. I cannot read Mandarin. Simplified
Right.
Chinese as well. I cannot read anything. So,
That's okay,
by the
John.
power of
You
the
don't need to
internet.
be able to read it. That's all right.
power of the internet.
Are you translating for us? All right. Well, we're going to throw
I
to
will
a break for now because we are going to have a very long pause. It looks like. So we're going to throw to a break. We'll be right back as soon as we get this pause out of here. We'll see you then.